Hey guys, today we are gonna cover the uppercase of the Greek alphabet, so let's just cut to the chase. Alpha usually looks like an A. It can also have a few variations, especially in some fonts that intend to look really Greek, like in taverns or something. It can look like that. And in some old style handwriting or lettering, it can look like that. So it looks kind of like a lowercase a, but the stem can also be vertical, especially in some religious texts, inscriptions in monasteries. This can look either like a triangle or it can be more curved or broken. It can also have a top stroke. Beta. Again, usually it looks like the letter B, but not always. It can have both separated, just like the alternative lowercase beta, as I showed you in the previous video. The uppercase gamma usually looks like that, and there's not much we can do about it. Delta usually looks like a triangle. It can also be stylized to look more like the Russian de. I saw that on some picture with monastery letters. This is another variation. This goes well with this. Caution. This is not an alpha. This is a delta. And in some calligraphy I found a delta that looked like the letter D. So this is very Latinized. Epsilon. In handwriting or calligraphy it can also look like the lowercase epsilon, just bigger. And here's the lunate epsilon, again, found in monasteries. In Greekified fonts, it may look like that. I guess this one has some Phoenician origin. Zeta, and it can also look like that. Look here. Eta. Theta. The middle stroke can be connected to the circle. Iota. Kappa. And again, the strokes can be separated. And in one monastery, I saw a version like that. Here, take a look. Lambda, and another monastery compliant version looks like that. And I guess it can also have a top stroke. Mu. Monastery version. Ni. Nu. Xi. Monastery version. This should actually be like that, so it meets the baseline with the tip of the tail. Okay, in some fonts, Xi has a vertical cross stroke to connect the letters so that the letter doesn't look discontinuous. Or it can also look like that, so like a zeta with an additional break. Omicron, pi, and again you can extend the top stroke, and in some fonts it can look like that, and this is close to how this letter originally looked. So one of the legs can be shorter, and it can be the other one as well. So this kind of looks like the letter P, just unfinished and squarish. Rho. Sigma. So another version I found for sigma has the upper part rounded, so that it would match better with calligraphy. So, for example, you can find something like that in calligraphy, and this would be sigma. And I guess I found one like that, and this freaked me out completely because I had no idea what the letter was. So I'm not sure if this is quite correct, but something like this might be a sigma. The sigma might look like that as well. Okay, now the lunate sigma, found in religious inscriptions, but it can also have a little decoration at the bottom. It can be one or more swoops. So in all caps setting, this lunate sigma can be used both in the middle, in the beginning, and at the end of the word. And I guess these decorations look best at the end of the word because they can remind of the regular final sigma. But this is not necessary because in all caps setting, this equals this. Tau, epsilon, and in handwriting it can look like that. So just like the letter Y. There is a technical symbol, epsilon with a hook. This means nothing more than epsilon, only it is more differentiated from Y. So it can have a hook here, but in some fonts, surprisingly, it has the hook on the other side, and in some it just has two hooks. So like that. I guess you must have seen a letter Y like that in some decorative fonts. In the monastery script samples I found online, the epsilon was more like a letter V. So it had the bottom stroke really short and sometimes unnoticeable. Okay, so again, this can look just like the letter V. Okay, phi. And this can be more of a circle or more of an ellipse. It can also be divided into two circles, like in the Russian letter F. Chi. Okay, so psi. It usually looks like that. But it can also have the middle bowl lowered, or it can look like that. This looks kind of ancient or, you know, rough. Okay, just a few final letters. I mean, one letter. But I also wanted to show you some interesting ligatures. So, omega. This is the regular version. I always had problems writing omega, and I would end up doing it like that. So writing out all the possible serifs, and it looks really bad. So I think this is the correct way to do this. But in handwriting, the uppercase omega often looks like that, like an underlined omicron. I think this is really cute. In the monastery stuff, it can also look like the lowercase omega. It can have some curls added. And now the special letters, stigma. This is the uppercase stigma. In some stylized handwriting, it can also be like that. So this equals sigma tau. It also has a lowercase version, but I think it is rarely used. The ligature of omicron and epsilon. So you would write an omicron and part of the epsilon on top of it. Or it can also look like that. Or it can have the top open, so like that. Or like that. And I found this for the first time on a pack of Crispies. Okay, so this equals omicron epsilon. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Look forward to the next video because I'm sure I'm gonna make one, because the two videos about the Greek script that I made were done with much talking, and I guess I'm gonna make another video when I just show letter forms. Maybe it will include calligraphy, so I might just teach myself how to do this in a beautiful way, and maybe I will share it. So thanks for watching.